98 miles per hour, 8 pitches, 6 strikes. If you blinked during the 7th inning of opening day against the Texas Rangers, you might have missed the exact moment Dave Dombrowski proved every single one of us wrong. We all saw the radar gun light up, and suddenly, the collective anger of the entire Philadelphia Phillies fan base turned into a stunned, collective gasp. Is Jonathan Bowlan the missing piece this bullpen desperately needed to dominate the NL East and secure our path back to Red October? Let's rewind the tape, because I've been thinking about this all day, and Philly fans know exactly what I'm talking about. When the news broke during spring training that we traded Matt Strahm, a guy who bled Phillies red, an all-star, a fan favorite, and got essentially nothing in return, the city was ready to riot. The sports radio lines were jammed. The timeline was a toxic wasteland. We all looked at the return. Jonathan Bowlan, a 29-year-old right-handed reliever from the Kansas City Royals with less than 40 career Major League appearances and a pedestrian 4.32 ERA. On the surface, it looked like a classic, frustrating salary dump. It looked like the front office was punting on a crucial bullpen arm just to save a few bucks, leaving our high-leverage innings in jeopardy. But here is where we have to separate the casual observers from the true baseball sickos. Here is where we dive into the deep analysis, because the surface-level stats were lying to us. When you look past that 4.32 ERA, you start to see the blueprint of what the Phillies' analytics department saw. They didn't see a fringe major leaguer, they saw a dormant volcano. Bowlan's underlying metrics, his xFIP, his spin rates, his extension off the mound, were screaming that this guy was a victim of bad luck and poor defensive positioning in Kansas City. He possesses a fastball that naturally sits in the mid-90s, paired with a breaking ball that has a devastating late-dropping sweep. But he needed the right environment to unlock it. Enter Caleb Cotham. We need to talk about what Cotham and the Phillies pitching lab are doing down in Clearwater, because it is nothing short of alchemy. Bowlan showed up to spring training, and immediately the reports started leaking out. He wasn't just eating innings, he was dominating. He was generating a ridiculous amount of swing and miss. His fastball, which was previously sitting around 94 to 95, was suddenly touching 96 consistently. Cotham tweaked his release point, optimized his lower half mechanics, and suddenly, Bowlan wasn't just throwing, he was pitching with violence and intent. And then came opening day, the bright lights, the pressure of putting on the pinstripes for the first time in a game that actually matters. Rob Thompson calls his number in the 7th inning against a dangerous Texas Rangers lineup. This is the ultimate litmus test. How does the new guy handle the pressure? He comes out of the bullpen, and he doesn't just touch 96 MEMP. He hits 98 miles per hour with late life. He carved through that inning on just 8 pitches, throwing 6 of them for strikes. It was surgical. It was electric. It was exactly the kind of shutdown inning that changes the entire complexion of a baseball game. Let's talk about the strategic impact of this, because this is where Dave Dombrowski's chess match comes into full focus. Dombrowski knew that to survive the absolute gauntlet that is the NL East race, battling the Braves night in and night out, you cannot rely on just 2 or 3 guys in the bullpen. You need a hydra. You need wave after wave of high velocity, high spin arms that can shorten the game. By flipping Strahm, whose value was arguably at its absolute peak, for a pre-arbitration, highly controllable arm like Bowlan, Dombrowski didn't just save money. He reallocated resources while potentially upgrading the raw stuff in the middle innings. If Bowlan can consistently be the guy we saw on opening day, he completely alters Rob Thompson's bullpen math. Think about the ripple effect this has on the rest of the roster. When you have a guy who can come in and throw a clean 8-pitch 7th inning, it takes a massive burden off the starting rotation. Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez, they don't have to push themselves to 110 pitches in mid-July just to bridge the gap to the closer. They can hand the ball over with confidence. Furthermore, think about what a shutdown bullpen does for the psychology of our lineup. When Bryce Harper, Trea Turner, and Kyle Schwarber are grinding out at-bats, trying to scratch across a 1-run lead in the 6th inning, they need to know that lead is safe. There is nothing more demoralizing for a powerhouse offense than watching a middle reliever blow a lead they just fought tooth and nail to build. If Bowlan becomes a reliable, high-leverage bridge guy, it allows our heavy hitters to relax in the box. It changes the entire energy in the dugout. This reminds me so much of the 2022 run. Think back to how we built that bullpen on the fly, finding guys who had elite raw stuff but just needed a change of scenery and a mechanical tweak. The Phillies have built a culture where pitchers come here to get better. Citizens Bank Park is no longer a graveyard for pitchers. It's a proving ground. And let's talk about the voice of the fans. I was monitoring the reactions during that opening day 7th inning. The same people who were ready to burn their season tickets in February over the Strahm trade were suddenly tweeting, "Okay, maybe Dombrowski cooked." The temperature in the city shifted in the span of 8 pitches. That's the beauty of Philadelphia. We will hold your feet to the fire. We will demand excellence. But the second you show us you have the guts and the stuff to perform in this city, we will embrace you. If Bowlan keeps throwing 98 mid-shatters with that nasty breaking ball, he's going to have his own cheering section in right field by June. The fanatic will be wearing a Bowlan jersey. But we have to remain objective. It's 1 inning. It's a microscopic sample size in a 162-game marathon. The league will adjust. Opposing scouts are already pulling the tape from that Rangers game, looking for tipping patterns, looking for holes in his swing and miss profile. The real test for Jonathan Bowlan isn't what he did on opening day. It's what he does on a humid Tuesday night in August against the Braves when the bases are loaded and the division lead is on the line. Can he maintain that 98 nui tepoit velocity over a full season? Can his arm hold up to the rigors of being a high-leverage reliever in a pennant race? Can he command that breaking ball when he falls behind in the count? These are the questions that will define his season, and by extension, a significant part of the Phillies' bullpen success. However, the early returns are undeniably thrilling. The underlying metrics that the front office bet on are translating into real-world, on-field dominance. The fastball velocity jump is real. The mechanical adjustments made by Caleb Cotham are holding up in game action. Dave Dombrowski took a massive gamble. He traded a known commodity, a beloved clubhouse guy, for a statistical projection. It was a move that required immense conviction in his scouting department and his coaching staff. If Jonathan Bowlan truly is this hidden gem, if he is the high-octane, strike-throwing machine we saw against Texas, then Dombrowski didn't just win the trade. He executed a masterclass in roster management. The Phitins are built for October, but you have to survive the summer to get there. Finding a diamond in the rough like Bowlan is exactly how championship teams are built. It's the margins. It's the under-the-radar acquisitions that end up throwing the most important pitches of the season. I want to know exactly where you stand on this. Are you buying the Jonathan Bowlan hype after that electric opening day performance? Or do you need to see more before you forgive the front office for the Matt Strahm trade? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's get the debate going. If you want the most intense, analytical, and passionate Phillies coverage on the internet, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and comment, ring the bell, to let the algorithm know that Philly fans run this platform. We are just getting started, and this season is going to be an absolute war. See you next time.